Let's go. I got a vision I see in my head, a melody buried deep into my soul. They call us crazy, we cutting the edge, unlocking the future and letting it go. This is a calling that's higher the time we decided our stories are gonna be told. This is where legends are born, we paving the road, a future that favors the bold. Break the rules, break the laws, this is the moment we change it all. Break the rules, break the laws, this is the moment we change it all. Yeah, greatness, yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness, yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. About to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. Something coming, I can feel it. Deep down in my spirit. Revolution, it's a new day. Time to redefine the limits. So vivid, I can see it. So loud, I can hear it. So they calling me a madman, but the future belongs to the fearless. Break the rules, break the laws. This is the moment we change it all. Break the rules, break the laws. This is the moment we change it all. Yeah, greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. About to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. About to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. This is the truth, into the light. Taking our dreams and we bring them to life. This is the truth, into the light. Taking our dreams and we bring them to life. Yeah, greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. About to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. We about to set the tone, we about to write the code. Yeah, we writing the code. We on a new elevation, we came here to shatter the mold. We gon' shatter the mold. Yeah, we about to set the tone, we about to write the code. Yeah, we writing the code. Yeah, we on a new elevation, we came here to shatter the mold. Yeah, I know you hear it, I know you see it. We are the fearless, we are the genius, we are defiance, we are the beacons, we are the true believers. Yeah, greatness, yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness, yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. About to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. Yeah. Woo. Greatness.
Red alert, time, shine a light down. On the front lines of my mind now. Riding my time on the high
smell what The Rock is cooking. The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock.
They talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying, I taste blood that's trying, I feel tension rising. I hear voices in my head, they count to me, they understand, they talk to me, they talk to me.
Our weekend of shows continue as for the 39th time WWE welcomes us to Wrestlemania. Welcome to the WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Russell Jones and
Sean Rodney Smith, and the day is finally here. It's WrestleMania.
WrestleMania for the 39th time will once again go Hollywood as he
From the SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. At the time of this recording, tonight on April 1st and tomorrow on April 2nd.
Now, worth noting, SoFi Stadium was originally scheduled to host WrestleMania 37 before the world went to hell with everyone's little virus called.
COVID-19.
And
Sorry,
some of the WrestleManias were moved around a bit. This will also mark the first WrestleMania under the creative control of Triple H.
Yes. And it will also be the first WrestleMania to live stream on Binge in Australia.
And also, as mentioned, it will be the fourth WrestleMania since WrestleMania 36 to be hosted over 2 nights.
Yes, which me and my colleague agree.
Well, with the number of matches, it closely works with how WrestleMania has developed over the years. Currently, unless they decide to add something last minute or do something during one of the nights, we have a total of 13 matches, 7 of which take place on night 1 and 6 take place on night 2.
So we'll start night 1, which will open with the United States Championship alive and Austin Theory defends his championship against John Cena.
This is the only match where we know it's going to be first because WWE have advertised it as the opening match to WrestleMania. Now, it's been 19 years since John Cena was in the opening match of WrestleMania. WrestleMania 20. However, that did just so happen to be a United States Championship match.
It did, very much certainly so.
And last time John Cena competed for the United States Championship at WrestleMania was WrestleMania 31, 8 years ago, in which he won the championship from Rusev.
I was going to say that name's copyrighted.
Our second match to take place on night one has been building since the Royal Rumble.
It has, as Seth freaking Rollins is taking on YouTuber turned wrestler Logan Paul.
Okay, say what you want to say about Logan Paul. But since he came into WWE to have several high-profile matches, starting at last year's WrestleMania, you cannot say that the guy doesn't take it seriously and is actually good in the ring.
Yeah.
But somehow I don't see him winning this match, because quite frankly, Logan Paul has gotten the better of Seth Rollins at every single confrontation leading to this match.
He has. Every time Logan Paul has knocked out Rollins.
Starting with eliminating Seth Rollins from the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah.
Then they went to costing Seth Rollins the United States Championship inside the Elimination Chamber.
Yes.
Then they went off to knocking out Seth Rollins over several confrontations on the Impulsive episode on Raw to another brawl on Raw. And of course, when they tend to do something like that, they do it to almost put the guy over who is going to eventually lose the match.
Yes, that's how it normally goes in WWE. We've watched it so many times, we pretty much know how this situation works.
Now, so we go to a match which is probably the combination, long-term story booking at one of its best.
Yes. As we have a 6-woman tag team match as the team of Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky, the women's champions, team will take on Damage Control of Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky, formerly known as Io Shirai.
Now, this goes all the way back to SummerSlam. Following Bianca Belair's successful title defense over Becky Lynch, Bayley would return from injury to be flanked by a returning Dakota Kai and Io Sky, following Triple H taking creative control at the time. And they would immediately target Becky Lynch. At the time, Bianca Belair would intervene to stop anything from happening. However, during that match at SummerSlam, Becky Lynch did pick up a slight shoulder injury.
She did.
which would force her out of action for a while. So they did a storyline on Raw where she was attacked by Damage Control and Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io. Then we fast forward to when Becky Lynch would make a return to be included in War Games, which was mainly against Damage Control.
And other superstars that were on different teams.
Then after that, we had an attempted steel cage match between Becky Lynch and Bayley. The first time round, Damage Control kind of used that as a trap.
Which they did to quite affection.
Then a couple of weeks later, they had that match again, where Damage Control tried to intervene, only for Lita to come back up and neutralize Dakota Kai and the Sky. So then that started. Then a couple of weeks after that, Becky Lynch and Lita would challenge Dakota Kai and Io Sky for the Women's Tag Team Championships.
Which Bailey accepted the challenge on behalf of Dakota Kai and Io Sky, much to the annoyance of the two faction members.
Yes, and they seem to be teasing an eventual split between that team, which we all know is going to come at some point, probably sometime this year.
Yes.
But again, during that match, outside interference from Bayley would take place until Bayley was neutralized by Trish Stratus.
Stratus faction.
Now, Trish Stratus had a slight run-in with Bayley and Damage Control on Raw a couple of months before this.
Yeah.
But Trish coming in would allow Becky Lynch and Lita to win the Women's Tag Team titles. And then the following week was when the challenge was made for this six-woman tag team match. The only slight problem I have with this is that I almost think that the tag team champions should be Trish and Lita, given their history together. However, there are rumours of a possible heel turn maybe coming from in this match because there are reports. So I have heard that WWE brought back Trish for an extended program and not just this WrestleMania situation. However, this will be Trish's first match since SummerSlam 2019 when she faced Charlotte.
Yeah.
And first WrestleMania match since WrestleMania 27 when she was involved in that weird match with Snooki.
Yeah.
Speaking of slightly weird matches, well, I say weird matches, this is one of several matches you can get, which is just have as many people as possible involved on the Wrestlemania card. It's a men's tag team showcase fatal four-way match.
As the teams of Strowman and Ricochet will take on the Street Profits, will take on Alpha Academy and the Viking Raiders.
Okay, this is how I think on this.
Okay.
I think we could possibly rule out Alpha Academy and Otis.
Yes, because there's been rumours going around of Otis joining the Maximum Male Models, all because of Maxine Dupree.
Don't you mean all because of a second late Mandy Rose?
Yeah, you kind of call Maxine Dupree yeah, I can see where you're going with that.
Viking Raiders have been iffy since coming back. Strowman and Ricochet I have been okay with since they've been coming up tag team. And with the Street Profits, it seems to have been the case that they seem to be teasing an eventual singles run with Montez Ford.
Yes, they have been.
Now, so we have, for the first time in 22 years, a father-son match.
Yes, as Rey Mysterio will take on Judgment Day's Dominic Mysterio.
This whole thing has been building ever since Classic Castle.
In which one of us was in attendance for this very betrayal.
And when Dominic would turn on Ray and Edge to join Judgment Day. Now, at the time, Ray was on the Raw roster and was continuing to be targeted by Judgment Day, but could not bring himself to face his own son, so he got asked to be transferred to SmackDown. That only served as a temporary solution, mainly until we got to the Royal Rumble, in which Dominic would prevent Rey Mysterio from entering the Royal Rumble match
by attacking him backstage and wearing his yellow mask.
and then would challenge Rey to a WrestleMania match. Rey Mysterio would continue to deny this until last week's episode of SmackDown when he finally snapped with Dominic disrespecting Rey's wife and his mother.
Getting in her face, telling her to shut up, with Rey Mysterio lighting up his own son with the right hand and accepting the challenge.
And as if this isn't bad enough, this match takes place about 24 hours after Rey Mysterio was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
And to make matters even more worse for Rey Mysterio, his own son walked out on him during last night's Hall of Fame induction before he even started speaking.
Speaking of Royal Rumble winners, Rhea Ripley would win this year's Women's Royal Rumble match from the number one position, becoming the fourth person to win from number one and the first woman to win from number one. and she would choose to challenge Charlotte Flair for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
I haven't really remembered what happened to her last
As I say, a bit of deja vu, isn't it?
Yes, from Wrestlemania 2 or 1, whatever it was.
Well, that's why they're doing it, because this match has been building for several years. And remember, when Rhea Ripley was Raw Women's Champion after defeating Asuka, who was it that took the championship off of her? Charlotte. People would like to think, and I admit I'm one of them, that with Triple H in charge of WWE Creative, that they would rely less on Charlotte winning all the time and give Rhea her WrestleMania win back.
Yeah.
And the final match to take place on night one is a tag team match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship.
As the Usos will put their titles on the line against the Sami and Kevin show of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Now, for the majority of last year, really ever since round about the summer of last year, Sami Zayn would attempt to align himself with the bloodline. Eventually managed to get himself in and be declared the honorary Uso. Then, when the bloodline was involved in the War Games match, he did turn and essentially attack and win the match by having a turn on Kevin Owens. But then we get to what happened at the Royal Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
When Roman Reigns was defended the Undisputed Championship against Kevin Owens, after winning the match and handcuffing Kevin Owens to the ropes, they would continue the attack,
Yeah.
and Roman Reigns would hand Sami Zayn a steel chair. Big mistake. Roman, haven't you learned what happens when you hand someone a steel chair and you've got your back to them?
Obviously, Roman Reigns knows firsthand about that experience.
So Sami nails Roman with a championship. Of course, he would come to instantly regret it when Jimmy Uso would super kick him, and so Kaya would get involved. Jey Uso at the time would basically walk out. This would lead to Roman Reigns versus Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber in Canada. Montreal to be precise. Despite his best efforts, Roman Reigns would win that match.
He would, unfortunately.
And to avoid a repeat of what happened to him at the Elimination Chamber, Kevin Owens did make an appearance to stop a potential attack on Sami Zayn. However, he did not align with Sami Zayn at that time. It would take a few more weeks for that to happen. in which Jey Uso would resurface and make his allegiances known.
Yeah.
Then on an episode of SmackDown about 3 weeks ago,
Something like that.
Sami Zayn and Jey Uso would have a battle of words. That ended in a brawl. Of course, Jimmy Uso jumped into it,
He would.
and after appearing to leave the arena, Kevin Owens would show back up.
And it literally saved Sami Zayn from more damage.
And they would, in a very familiar situation, hug it out.
Yes. Reuniting them as a team.
So that is WrestleMania Night 1, aka tonight's WrestleMania card. And we'll run through it again. Austin Theory will defend the United States Championship against John Cena.
In our second match, Seth Rollins will take on Logan Paul.
Trish Stratus teams up with Lita and Becky Lynch to face Damage Control in a 6-woman tag team match.
In a men's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag match, Strowman and Ricochet will take on the Street Profits, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders.
Rey Mysterio faces his son, Dominic Mysterio.
Charlotte Flair will defend her SmackDown Women's Championship against Rhea Ripley of the Judgment Day.
And the Usos will defend the undisputed Tag Team Championships against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Join us momentarily as we look forward to Night 2 of WrestleMania.
And WrestleMania Night 2 looks like this. Now, a couple of weeks ago on SmackDown, there was a fatal 5-way match to decide who would face Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. That ended in a double pin with Sheamus and Drew McIntyre.
It did.
So Adam Pearce set up a match between Drew McIntyre and Sheamus to decide who would face Gunther at WrestleMania. Now, Imperium and Gunther decided that almost neither of them were really worthy of an Intercontinental Championship match, and decided to jump in towards the end of the match.
Yes.
Big
mistake.
mistake, Gunther, because then Adam Pearce said, "You want to play it like that, Gunther? Well, you will defend the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania against both of them in a triple threat match."
Yeah, of course.
Now, so Gunther will face Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship. The second match, we have to rewind a year.
Yes, we do.
WrestleMania 38, Edge would face AJ Styles in what was the beginnings of the Judgment Day, when Damian Priest assisted him to win that match. And Edge would form the Judgment Day only to be turned on by the Judgment Day, and of course it leads to Finn Balor taking control. Then we would go over to SummerSlam, where the Judgment Day faced the Mysterios. Edge allowed the Mysterios to win that. We know what happened. They crashed at the castle. Edge and Mysterio won the tag team match, only for Dominic to turn into a prat. Extreme Rules. Edge faced Finn Balor in an I Quit match. That got Beth Phoenix involved.
Yep.
And they used Beth Phoenix to force Edge to say I quit.
And we're able to hit the concerto on Beth Phoenix anyway.
And Edge shows back up at the Royal Rumble, costing the members of Judgment Day from winning the Royal Rumble match at Elimination Chamber. Edge and Beth Phoenix took on Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley in a mixed tag team match and picked up the win. So this feud, which has been going on for the better part of a year, can only have one ending.
That ending is
Hell in a Cell. And, incidentally, in a collection of many bad decisions made by Vince McMahon, we will be reverting back to the grey/silver Hell in a Cell structure.
we will be saying goodbye to the red cell.
Now we had a men's showcase fatal 4-way tag team match. How about a women's one?
Oh, yes. As the teams of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez take on the teams of Shotzi and Natalia, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, and Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville.
I'll keep this short. Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville makes no sense. If they were going down the road, which they seem to be going down with Chelsea Green and Carmella, it would make a bit more sense. But quite frankly, I don't see any other winner of it in this match except Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Especially if the rumors of them eventually challenging for the women's tag team titles are true.
Yes. Then for our next match, we will have Bianca Belair putting her Raw Women's Championship on the line against the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka.
Yes, now this weekend will mark 1 year of Bianca Belair's Women's Championship reign. And this is going to be a good match, but the build to it has been a bit weird. And with all the matches on this, I'm also thinking there's going to be a fair few title changes. I think Bianca Belair may hold on to the title for a wee bit longer, and if she does, she will likely overtake Becky Lynch's record reign as Raw Women's Champion.
Most certainly.
Now, the next match, quite frankly, is I don't know why.
As the Nigerian giant Omos takes on
Lesnar.
Oh, Jesus.
But quite frankly, I think this is just one of these matches they've thrown together because Brock Lesnar turned down a match with Bray Wyatt.
Don't know why.
Well, I don't think Brock Lesnar wanted to be involved in this spooky stuff that Wyatt's doing. And I think this match is basically going to be one they do so they can have a highlight reel of like Hogan slamming Andre and so they can have an image of Brock Lesnar almost up from F5.
Pretty much, it's just pretty much a WrestleMania making match, but not the way we're thinking about it.
Now, the next match involves the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble, and Roman Reigns needs to learn one thing. Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Yes, as the winner of the Men's Royal Rumble match, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes takes on the head of the table, Roman Reigns, for the undisputed Universal Championship in the main event of Night 2.
Can Cody Rhodes finish the story? I hope so.
Me too.
And I personally think that this has been the plan all year since Cody came back. Even slightly derailed due to his injury, but I do think the plan was to bring Cody back in and spend the year building him up, have him win the Royal Rumble match, and challenge for the championship at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
So, will WrestleMania be the end of the bloodline as we know it? Hopefully.
Yep, couldn't agree more.
So, night 2 of WrestleMania looks like this. As we run through it again, Gunther will defend the Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre.
Edge will take on the Demon Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell.
In a women's showcase fatal 4-way tag team match, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez take on Natalya and Shotzi, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler, and Shotzi Green and Sonya Deville.
Bianca Belair will defend her Raw Women's Championship against Asuka.
Brock Lesnar faces Omos.
And Roman Reigns puts his undisputed Universal Championship on the line against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
WrestleMania Night 1 takes place tonight and Night 2 will take place tomorrow. Both of them air at 1 AM UK time on the WWE Network.
They do.
Join us next week where we will go through the results of WrestleMania and NXT Stand and Deliver, which starts in roughly an hour.
Yes. So until then, he's been
Lisa Rock Jones and he's been
Sean Smith, and enjoy WrestleMania.